The most terrifying place in space isn't a black hole, massive cosmic monsters with gravity so powerful that not even light can escape it today. We're going to explore some of the most terrifying places humanity has ever discovered in the universe. By the end of this video, you may never look at the stars the same way again. Think about every magnet you've ever seen in your life. Now imagine combining all of them together. Then multiply their strength trillions of times. Even then, you still wouldn't come close to the magnetic field of a magnetar. Magnetars are a special type of neutron star left behind after a massive star explodes in a supernova. They are only about 20 kilometers 12 miles across. Yet inside this tiny sphere can be more mass than our Sun. Their magnetic fields are so incredibly powerful that if one were located at the distance between the Earth and the Moon, it could disrupt many of Earth's electronic systems. If you got even closer, things would become far more terrifying. Their magnetic fields are strong enough to distort the very structure of atoms. No living creature could survive approaching such an object. Fortunately, the closest known magnetars are thousands of light years away. Now imagine this: a burst that lasts only a few seconds. Yet during that brief moment, it releases more energy than the Sun will produce over its entire 10 billion year lifetime. These are called gamma-ray bursts. During these events, deadly radiation is blasted across space at the speed of light. If one of these bursts happened close enough to Earth and its beam were aimed directly at our planet, much of our atmosphere could be stripped away. Without an atmosphere, the Sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation would reach Earth's surface directly. Some researchers even believe that at least one mass extinction in Earth's history may have been linked to such an event. At the very center of our galaxy lies a supermassive black hole. Its name is Sagittarius *. It has a mass of about 4 million suns. Fortunately, it is roughly 26,000 light-years away from us. But if you were to get too close, its immense gravity would begin stretching your body apart. Scientists call this process spaghettification. Near black holes, not only does space behave differently, but time does as well. Time does as well. To someone watching from far away, your movements would appear slower and slower, as if time itself were coming to a stop. Albert Einstein predicted this years ago through his theory of general relativity, and today, our observations continue to support his predictions. Not every planet is tied to a star. Some wander alone through the darkness of space. These are known as rogue planets. Scientists believe many of them were likely ejected from their original star systems during violent gravitational interactions. On these worlds, there is no daytime. No sunrise. Only endless darkness. If you stood on one of these planets, you wouldn't see a single sun in the sky. Scientists estimate there could be billions of rogue planets in the Milky Way alone. The brightest objects in the universe are not stars. They are quasars. As gas and dust fall toward a supermassive black hole, they become unimaginably hot before crossing the event horizon. The energy released during this process can outshine an entire galaxy. The light from some of the quasars we observe today has traveled for billions of years before reaching us. When we look at them, we are actually seeing the universe as it was billions of years ago. In other words, every time we look into deep space, we're also looking into the distant past. Isn't that incredible? The universe isn't completely filled with galaxies. Some regions are almost entirely empty. One of the most famous is the Boat's void. It stretches for about 330 million light-years across. If the Milky Way were located at its center, it could take hundreds of millions of light-years to reach the nearest major galaxy. Imagine looking up into the sky. No nearby galaxies. No cosmic neighbors. Just darkness. Even scientists still don't fully understand how this enormous void formed. Perhaps the most terrifying thing in space isn't a place at all. It's the future itself. And perhaps the strangest or the most terrifying part is that its expansion is accelerating. Billions of years from now, galaxies will drift so far apart that most of them will disappear from view. New stars will stop forming. The stars that already exist will slowly burn out, one by one. And all that will remain will be a cold, dark Scientists call this scenario the heat death of the universe. A universe where nothing new can ever form, where there is no light, and where silence reigns forever. And perhaps the most astonishing fact of all is that, despite all these cosmic dangers, we're still here.